Mickeymouse. Before we talk about this email that was uncovered about Target and the threats that are being levied at Target, I want to show you guys something really quick. Make sure you guys pay very close attention. This only about maybe 20 seconds total. Just pay very close attention. That, ladies and gentlemen, and I am showing it to you again right now as I am giving my commentary, is a let's just say it's a bunch of climate activists who decided to let's just say they decided to go on stage and try to get some notoriety at the equivalent of Dancing with the Stars in Sweden. I mean, don't you just love to see this? Apparently some Giga Chad, you know, he obviously saw what the hell was coming. He decided to go ahead and take action. Obviously a beautiful thing to see. There's also going to be a couple of updates on how the week is going to go at the very end of the video, so make sure you guys stick around. Now, let's get to the video. So, gang, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know about the Target boycott and how it is that... well, we all know the real reasons why they're doing it. Their clothing line, the Pride clothing line that they seem to be aiming at children, small children in particular, with no-tuck bathing suits, stuff like that there, or tuck-friendly bathing suits, however you might want to call it. And, of course, we've talked about Alex Stein clowning these people, and we've talked about, how do I say this? We've talked about the mothers who are getting upset. I kind of showed you guys that in my last video about the girls that went on Jesse Waters and basically said that they were going to protest this or they were going to boycott all the way to the end. Of course, Target held their emergency meeting. They decided to move all this stuff to the back of the store, which, by the way, I don't think really fixes the problem because we don't know if they actually removed the stuff that was geared towards kids. Now, let me say this really quick. I have a problem only with the stuff that's being marketed towards little children, especially towards babies. If you want to market the stuff towards grown-ups or whatever, okay. But at the same time, though, it doesn't need to be at the very front of the store when you walk in. And to go on top of this, it does not need to be marketed towards children. However, here's the thing about this entire ordeal, and I think we probably should have seen it coming, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of tell you guys how this is going to work as far as what to expect out of the mainstream media. It's part of the reason why it is that I chose to have this video be called under the short-timer prepping label, which, by the way, will be still on the John Claymore channel because I'm creating a playlist for these types of videos. Here's the deal. This right here is what I need to go ahead and throw on out there. You see, the mainstream media has gone out of their way to spin this already. Say it's a bunch of right-wingers, say it's a bunch of conservatives that are calling in and they're leaving threats and this, that, and the other, or making threats. But then the email comes out. The email comes out and you actually read the email and you see such wording as "you cave to a bunch of homophobic right-wing bigots." And then you actually follow the trail and you find out that, I don't know, that these initial threats and what the mainstream media was saying was a great big giant hoax. And you actually find out that it was actually an activist organization that operates on behalf of the Pride community. Wow. Now, guys, the reason why I'm making this video is because if you guys remember correctly, there was an incident that occurred in Nashville a while back. It was the Nashville shooter, Audrey Hale. Killed 3 kids, killed 3 grown-ups, 3 adults. And, of course, the mainstream media went out of their way to say that it was actually the Christians' fault. So you even had David Pakman's real bright, big-headed behind come out and say that maybe they should have prayed harder. And just the normal left-wing gobbledygook. By the way, classical liberals typically don't tend to engage in language like that. Not as extreme. I'm going to try to change a few things here. But the infected, the far left, those people there, those right there are the ones that typically tend to engage in language like that. They typically tend to cheer on the nonsense because they, for the most part, live in a bubble. And, of course, as I have explained in several videos, these people typically tend to have some form of or multiple mental illnesses. I'm talking about the leftists. Obviously, here on YouTube, you can't say certain people have something, and you guys are seeing some of it right now.
If you back a wild animal into a corner, they're going to become a dangerous animal. So if you want to die on that hill of yours of righteousness and moral majority, then you go right ahead. I dare you to try and stop me from going into a women's bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. I dare you to try and stop a transgender woman in my presence from using the bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. This is a call to action and a call to arms to everybody within the United States that are scared, worried, have children that are transgender, lesbian, bi, or gay. This is a call to action. You need to arm up.
I don't know about you, but here's the deal. The Nashville shooter, the Nashville shooting, that person was in the process of killing six, and then was going to actually go kill more. They actually intend on doing more damage, leaving that school and going to the next. By the way, we're still waiting on that person's manifesto. So I don't see how it was that that person was cornered. It seems to me like that person just came out to actually cause harm to others. Using bathrooms and stuff, we've already had this conversation. I've already let you guys know how I feel about that. I've already told you that I think that this entire thing about bathrooms was designed so that way roughly 2/3 to maybe 3/4, probably 90%, much, much higher. I'm trying to be polite for YouTube purposes. I've already told you guys that I felt like most of that right there was designed so that way they could actually assault the people that were in there. Some very, very weird, sick stuff. Obviously, it's the first video with ads on it, so you've got to kind of like watch your language and all that stuff there. Still, though, YouTube's probably not going to promote the video anyways, but still at the exact same time, I don't see how anybody's being cornered here. I think what's going on here is that people just want their own privacy. And of course, now that you see what's going on with Target, you see that there's been some threats thrown at Target, not by anybody who's boycotting. As a matter of fact, if you're boycotting something, you're technically not threatening it because you're technically saying that you're not going to use it anymore. So therefore, you're not actually threatening it. You were basically saying, I'll never go back in your store again. I'll never buy a product from you again. However, it is these people here, or the examples that I just gave you, is those people there who are actually laying the threats on Target. Funny how this type of thing works out. One of those people, the one who was ejecting rounds out of the AR-15, that is actually Pinko Scum. That is a person who was in the Biden administration, was actually fired. The second person I'm going to kind of go into a bit of a rant on here in a second, but here's the thing. You're probably asking yourself this right here. Why in the world are you bringing up these old tweets? Why are you bringing up these old TikToks? Why are you doing this, Claymore? Well, because they had this thing called the Trans Day of Vengeance. I have to say it a certain way. And, of course, I'm showing you guys some protest here. This has actually been going on for a while. These people have been making threats for a while. They've been putting it out there on TikTok. They've been putting in tweets. They've been doing all this stuff for a while. So at this moment in time, I don't think people should be surprised that this is occurring. It seems like talk. It just does. It seems mostly like just good old-fashioned banter. But then again, though, at the same time, though, how many times has banter, how many times has somebody just running their mouth about something, how many times has somebody just simply responding or voicing their opinion on the internet, how many times has that radicalized somebody? How many times has that actually radicalized an entire group? And I understand that that in particular was old, roughly over a month. But don't you guys think at this moment in time that it's very possible? And like I said, I'm not saying we shouldn't boycott Target. Definitely boycott the hell out of these people. These people are crazy. They're coming after our kids. I've already explained why it is that they're doing that. By all means, don't buy their product no damn more. Also, something else too. I ran into this video from Carlin Borisenko the other day. Another guy posted it on his YouTube channel. He was responding to it. And I saw it and I was like, this chick actually thinks that Target is bigger than Walmart? Stupid stuff. Crazy stuff like that. Fact of the matter is that obviously these people are doing some very, very crazy things, some very, very nefarious stuff. And as you guys can see, these people may be trying to act out. Maybe they're just trying to get clicks or whatever. But at the same time, though, I do believe that the threat level is pretty well credible. So, yeah. And to go on top of that, the way they are doing this is just completely baffling. If you're just speaking into the microphone, obviously you're thinking that this person's probably trying to get clicks. But then again, though, going to the firing range, stuff like that, or your backyard with, it just feels a little bit off. It just feels to me like something could be coming. So what is my conclusion on this? My conclusion on this is simply we probably should have seen this coming for a while. Now, am I saying that we should stop? No, I am all in favor of boycotting the hell out of Target. As a matter of fact, I ran across a YouTube video the other day from a channel that I'm subscribed to. I think I'll leave it in the description box. Carlin Borisenko is at it again, saying that this boycott of Target won't work because Target's this great big giant company bigger than Walmart. I don't think that woman knows this, but Walmart is way bigger than Target. Target is just simply an alternative store to Walmart, as I've explained in my previous videos. But obviously, she's just speaking good old-fashioned nonsense, like always. I wouldn't pay much attention to that crazy chick. But here's the deal, though. Here's my conclusion on this. This is obviously some pretty serious stuff when you think about it. Now, will these people actually do something? Well, let me go ahead and put it this way here. And this right here is basically the meat of where I wanted to get to on this. These people have got the media on their side. Okay, so what they're probably going to do is if something does in fact happen, what they'll do is they'll have the media spin it in their favor. Do you guys remember the Nashville shooting? I know I've brought it up again, but do you remember, like I said before, how it was that for whatever reason they chose to not side with the families who had lost their kids? They chose to side with the actual shooter. I mean, the mainstream media was all over the place, siding with the fact that this person felt like they were persecuted, all that type of stuff there, when in fact I've discussed on multiple occasions it seems to me that these people have got way more rights than anybody else does. I mean, hell, I've got to censor my own language. You've got to censor your language. You've got to censor your attitude anytime you decide to put something out there. And of course, if you say something that is somewhat derogatory or somewhat could be perceived, not even derogatory, but somewhat perceived, obviously you can lose your job, you can be suspended, you can be canceled, all that type of stuff there. As I've said before, I think these people have more rights than most average normal people. But then again, at the same time, though, like I said, you may get in trouble for that. But yeah, it is the way it is. We got to find all kinds of ways to fight back. The thing is this right here. I could see, and I'm not saying it's going to, and YouTube I am not advocating for. I want you to know that right now. I need to go ahead and say that there, obviously for the community guideline standards. But here's the thing. I could obviously see somewhere down the road something, of course, not being properly reported. And of course, you're seeing all the things that would be kind of leading into an event like that. You could see something like that obviously being reported or coming out, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, they would want to blame the people who were just simply boycotting. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and say this really quick. Anybody out there who thinks that boycotting is threats, I don't see how the hell it's a threat. You're just simply saying you're not going to buy a product. You're just simply saying that you're not going to be going inside that store. Or if anything, you've withdrawn any type of attention from that location. So therefore, you are not, in fact, threatening at all. You were just simply withdrawing your support from a certain company. You're just simply withdrawing your money. That's not a threat at all. But what these people right here who were doing, according to that email, that right there, on the other hand, that right there could actually be perceived as an actual honest-to-God threat. And I believe that they're doing this because they know that the media is already on their side. As I have said before, they are going to go out of their way to actually spin this. This is going to be a story that's going to be preached for that next week or so. And of course, they are going to go out of their way to actually spin this crazy stuff. They're going to try to spin it to say that, look, all the conservatives out there who don't want their kids indoctrinated, they are obviously the problem. This is the world that we're living in right now. Black is suddenly white. Up is now suddenly down. That's just how the hell it looks. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm going ahead and prepping you for what is probably going to be the inevitable, meaning what is more than likely or possibly could happen as a result of this. As I have said before, they have already begun the smear campaign on good old-fashioned conservatives, moderates, hell, even classical liberals who don't want their kids exposed to this stuff. They've already decided to go ahead and attack them. As a matter of fact, classical liberals right now are being called right-wing. I have no idea how the hell you got that, but they're being called right-wing. I saw somebody the other day say that Alan Dershowitz was right-wing. Alan Dershowitz is one of the most liberal Democrats out there, one of the most civil libertarian people out there. Yes, he defended Trump in his impeachment case, but he also voted for Hillary and then voted for Biden afterwards. Okay, if that right there is not liberal, I don't know what the hell is. This is kind of how these people operate, and obviously a certain group has gotten a hold of the media, and they now know that they can use said media to, guess what, spin it into an actual negative against people who just want to protect their children. I'm just simply doing this video right here to warn you of what could happen as a result. With that right there being said, guys, let me go ahead and get to these final few updates. I know you guys just came off the weekend. You're just now starting to get yourself readjusted. Of course, I'm guessing most of you guys had the weekend off. I'm recording this video on Monday afternoon. I just had a minute to kind of get this video out here. And I just wanted to kind of talk about this. With that there being said, let's go ahead and get to the updates. This week here in particular is obviously going to be kind of wonky. The videos are going to be coming out are going to be on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm hopefully going to have something out on Saturday. I'm going to be out of town on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But the good news about YouTube is that now you can actually schedule your videos out. So the videos that are going to be coming out over the weekend are obviously going to be videos that I've kind of like worked on, the much more longer form videos. I'm also going to be leaving a link to Short Timer Prepping anyways, my backup channel. I have not changed the name officially yet. I'm still kind of up in the air on that one. But of course, I'll have some updates for you guys on that one. Now, I'm recording this video on Monday afternoon. I got an opportunity to kind of go ahead and record it and try to edit it. The video will be out on Tuesday. As far as any more content is concerned tomorrow, I'm not entirely sure. It's just one of those weeks where it's kind of like you've only got maybe like a 3 or 4 day workspace to get things done on your channel. That's the way I kind of separated things. So just to let you guys a bit of a heads up here that we're kind of looking at a week that's going to be a little bit weird. But when I get back from where I'm going to be at next weekend, I'm going to go back to the original schedule of about 2 to 3 videos a day for the time being, hopefully for the rest of the year, with a video coming out on Saturday. It's much more longer form, almost like a project, almost like a video essay. That's the goal going forward, especially for the rest of the year. As far as the overall state of the channel, as I said before, I am now officially in the YouTube Partner Program, so of course you'll start seeing those little ads popping up during videos. Guys, with that right there being said, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you guys subscription, please. Also hit the notifications bell, and please leave a comment in the comment section. And by all means, please share it. And I'll see you guys later.